Hello there everyone and welcome to round 1 of the CRS British Touring Car Championship. Today we are here at Donington National and here is your starting lineup. On pole was me by 0.06 of a second over Jaden in his Team Dynamics BMW. Then it was Joseph McKenna in the first of the Carinas, closely followed by Kitu in his Cavalier. Then it was Assetto Drifter in the other Cavalier, followed by Fapster in the first of the Mondeos. Tom put his BMW into P7, while Brad in his CRS debut managed to secure P8. Vinnie Roberts in the second of the Team Dynamics Beamers managed to secure P9. MBG in P10, Toru the only Sierra managing to get P11. Then Saladin in his Mondeo getting P12, Rio in the Renault 19 getting P13, 14 for No Fridge, 15 for the independent of Alex Plunkett in the Pinckney Motorsports Beamer, and then Bowtie got P17, not forgetting P16, which was Dom Koss, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. Then Eric Drace in the second of the Total Team Peugeots, closely followed by Rosti 2002. So then, with all of the cars lined up on the grid, we're all ready to go for round 1 at Donington. A very clean start from everyone, no major issues. Kitty getting a rather poor start, dropping quite far down the grid as some of the BMWs really made up some good ground off of the line. Further back we had Alex Plunkett run into the side of, I believe, Toast into turn 1, but neither of their races would be majorly affected. Coming round to the end of lap 1, everyone at the front half of the field anyway seems to have got round nice and cleanly. One of the Listerine BMWs running quite wide, however the majority of the field sticking together for some nice close racing. Joseph McKenna had a look at me down the inside for the last chicane. Kitty managing to go past Toru in the Sierra by the looks of things, but there was an accident further back in the field. Everyone turning a little bit too hot into the chicane. That was a good 4 cars off, just either up braking themselves or running into other cars. So then, the Sierra actually managed to get past Kitu again, not 100% sure where, I must have missed that, but one of the BMWs running out quite wide and the other BMW is going slowly on the grass, so probably a problem for both of them. Now Kitu this time round was able to just get past a little bit of contact between them, which sent Toru off wide, which I believe actually got him disqualified from the race due to Assetto Corsa. Back up front though, things were starting to get spread out. Jaden was slowly pulling away from me in that BMW, but both of us together were pulling away from the rest of the pack, which was decent for both of us, as that means we didn't have to particularly worry about the other cars. Joseph McKenna got a very dodgy exit and must have got a time penalty as he was very slow off of the edge of the chicane. So we saw Fapster and Assetto Drifter go side by side there, but I actually clipped Jaden coming into turn 1, weighed up for him, which was probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, as they go side by side around Jaden, then make contact, which gets sent into me, and then I go off onto the grass as well while Jaden happily cruises through. I'll come shooting back across the track at some point, just trying not to hit anyone. And it was a rather eventful corner, that one, we could say. On board here with Kitu on his front, on his right door, I should supposedly say, just getting an idea of how close the front of the mid-pack was here. I think this is like the battle for 5th or 6th, something along those lines. He's got Vinny in front of him. Up in front though, the Mondeo of Fapster and Joseph McKenna in his Carina would have some contact in a straight line. Not 100% sure what happened with that one, but Joseph's had to go straight on at the chicane, which is not ideal for him, losing a lot of time. Now after my off going down through the S section, I had a lot of ground to make up. Now this was the overtake, I believe, for P8, going around the outside of Rio Sup coming into the right-hander, getting it done nice and early. A little bit of a twitch coming into the corner, but a nice little clutch kick sorted the car out. Next lap, I believe this was, getting past, it might have been No Fridge in that Listerine BMW, if not it was Tom. Coming down through the S section then, this is the lap after, I believe, Assetto Drifter lost the rear end, and I was able to chuck it down the inside to get that manoeuvre done. Nice and clean there. This car might have been No Fridge actually, or it could have been Tom, I don't really know. I think this one's Tom. Like, he misses a gear and that allows me to get past easily in a straight line, so no worries there. In my rear I could see that Assetto Drifter also managed to get past Tom, This is about the mid-stage of the race, where all of the cars were slowly getting spread out. Your running order seems to be Jaden, Kittu, then Vinny, then Fapster, me, Assetto Drifter, and I believe that's Dominon Con. I don't quite know, but half of these cars no, they wouldn't be a lap down at this point. That's Rio in the Renault, closely followed by MBG. Coming down into T1, I did have a look down the inside of Fapster, but after seeing his attempt rather far ahead of him trying to overtake Joseph, I was a bit wary about going for the overtake, so I decided to back out of it, coming down through the S section to let Fapster do what he's got to do, and then get my car all sorted out for later on round the lap, which is what I exactly do. I do get a better run, however I run into the back of Fapster, but I do have the slipstream at this point. You can see I'm already pulling him back in, and I just decided to chuck it down the inside, just about get it stopped. A little bit of contact was made, but I did leave him enough room on the outside. This was, I believe, another 2 laps up the road. I was closing right in on the back of Vinny now. I think this is for P3 at the time. This must have been around lap 12, 13. It was only an 18 lap race, so we didn't have all too long to try and gain positions, I suppose. But the battle that me and Vinny had was a nice clean little battle. It didn't last for too long, but the little battle that we did have, it was very clean indeed, and I couldn't fault him at all. He drove absolutely perfectly, and was the second highest placing BMW after Jaden, who in the end has an amazing battle with me and Kittu. So we managed to get around the outside there, a little bit overcooked into the right hander, but here is the overtake then for the lead. This has got to be around lap 14. Jaden loses it coming into the first corner, and that allows Kittu to go through. But Jaden is not going to be having any of that. It's just a couple corners later, he's already hunting back for that inside, unable to get a manoeuvre done just because Kittu is going so defensive in that Cavalier. All week he has been moaning about his Cavalier, but under race conditions he must be he must have an amazingly set up car for that, as they go side by side then down the straight. Kittu must have just got a slightly better run out the corner, pulling ahead, and Jaden unable to do anything down into the braking zone. On board with me, this is probably with about 3 laps to go, lap 15. I reckon this has got to be. I might have said that for about the past 5 laps. But this is, I reckon, about lap 15. I was closing right up on Jaden here, and I was sort of driving this race as I've got nothing to lose. At the end of the day, it's round 1. So I just chuck it down the inside. We do make a little bit of contact. After talking about these incidents between us, and we did bang into each other a little bit, we decided that we were both at fault for both of them. And all was fine there. Coming round on, I think this is about 2 laps up the road. It might have been the next lap. But Jaden gets very wide into that same corner. So I just chuck it down the inside before the straight. I'm struggling to put that power down in the front wheel drive without running out. But if I ran out wide, then I would have been putting Jaden on the grass. So Jaden's actually got a slightly better run out the corner than I do. So we go side by side down into the chicane, go all the way up onto 2 wheels, and that allows me to get up into P2, and I believe this is coming on to the final lap now. Jaden goes for a little bit of a dive into the first corner, unable to get it done. Luckily I mashed onto the power, otherwise he may have actually ran into the back of me. This would be the battle for 4th then. Looking out the rear of Fapster's Mondeo here, he's got a Assetto Drifter in the Carina right behind him. They've both had a pretty good race so far. They ran it to an extent clean. They've had to deal with a little bit of traffic here and there, but apart from that they did run the race well together, as well as Vinny. I've got to say, he was holding on to the back of these front runners, and this is his first ever CRS at race 2. We've had quite a lot of newcomers from this league, and it's actually faring nice and popular, which is good. Coming down and into the last chicane on the last lap, Assetto Drifter did have a little bit of a look. Fapster closes the door nice and early, and that is going to be it then for round 1. Jaden gets very sideways out the last corner, but Kittu's going to be your winner. I would end up in 2nd, Jaden would come somewhat 3rd, Fapster 4th, Assetto Drifter 5th, and Vinny 6th. We did manage to classify Jaden as 3rd position. He just lost it coming out the last corner, got a time penalty and didn't want to slow down to lose his place. There comes Rio then in the Renault 19. He managed to get in some good points this time round. Here's Joseph in the second of the Carinas. If he didn't have his incidents early on, he would have definitely been up the front pack with us, putting in some very, very good times. One of the Mondeos coming across the line as well, and that's really about it, as the rest of the field is about another halfway around the track. But thank you all very much for watching this highlights video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, and if you do want to comment, feel free to do so down below. But thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.